There's been all this talk about Bristol City paying transfer fees for players. What about the ones that are without a club right now? The free agent market has been very useful to Bristol City and to other Championship clubs in the past. Can Bristol City pick out the best ones that will fit into the club's model and make full use of them? Here are 5 Championship players who have been released from their clubs in this season who I believe could make a reasonable impact at Bristol City. Without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Has to be noted that Bristol City have already signed one player on a free transfer this window, being Hayden Roberts on a free transfer from Brighton. So we have already used this window, so just looking at who else we could potentially target and could bring some value to the football club. So number 1 on this list is Bradley Dack. Now Bradley Dack was released by Blackburn Rovers and is an attacking midfielder. He's 29 years old. He has been detrimented by injuries in the past few years, really badly affected, ACL injuries and just other small issues which have just meant that he's not been able to accumulate a regular run of games under several different managers of Blackburn as well, Tony Mowbray and John Dale Thomason last season. He scored Acheampong 8 last season in a 1-1 draw, so he can be a useful Championship player. The only reservations I have with this deal are his age, 29. Will he really? He's kind of on that verge, isn't he? Is he going to fit in the model? Is he not? He's kind of on that edge. Also, his injury problems are an issue. We can't hide away from that fact. But on his day, he's an absolutely brilliant Championship player and can bring value to any Championship club in this league. QPR has said to be interested. Sunderland, with Tony Mowbray at the helm there at Stadium Light, also said to be interested. Not surprised in that interest as well. So Bradley Dack, I have number 1 on this list. You'll remember Fankati Dabo for that penalty miss at Wembley for Coventry, denying them a place in the Premier League. But beforehand, he had been a really good servant for Cov in the 3 seasons in the Championship so far. He mainly played right back, but he can play right wing back and is equally comfortable going forward. He can also play centre back on the right hand side of the back 3, which is where he's more comfortable. So he's a versatile option and is rather useful for a squad. He's only 27, so compared to Bradley Dack, he is younger. So 27, I'd say, is about the bracket we'd be looking for in terms of straight away improving the squad. And he's just a high energy player who has good defensive awareness about him. He's always in the right position at the right time. Doesn't rarely ever let anything get behind him. He was displaced in the Coventry side by Brooke Norton-Cuffy in the latter half of the season. So look, there is that element of hangover from that penalty miss, but for a squad, I think he'd just be a really useful player to have because he's got that defensive awareness about him. He's useful and he's versatile. He's high energy, kind of fits into that Nigel Pearson model. So I wouldn't be surprised for if a player like that comes around for City and is kind of fixed into either midfield or a centre back, because that's the positions we need right now. Joel Atterbury is someone who was highly surprised Swansea let go last season. Ross Martin, the former Swans manager, was waxing lyrical about him during the negotiations between the two parties, making it absolutely frank that he wanted to keep him at no matter the cost. But eventually, Atterbury was let go by the Swans hierarchy. He made 34 appearances last season. He really grew into it the season, and he was just absolutely magnificent towards the back end of it, correlating with Swansea's brilliant run, leading to a playoff charge, which they eventually missed out on. He, again, as I mentioned, really impressed with Ross Martin, making a really useful, versatile player who can play at centre-back and is equally comfortable playing at right-back and at right wing-back. He's just a really solid player, and only 23. We don't have to pay any compensation for him to Swansea, and is also a really good age and can definitely improve. He showed signs in his time at Swansea, which has been for a good while now, that he's got the potential to become a really top Championship player and even kick on into the Premier League. But, however, there is a lot of reported competition. Plymouth, think a few other Championship clubs too, who think finished above us. So there is competition there. But if we can pull this off, this would be plugging a position where we need a bit of cover, centre-back. If we have any problems at right-back, if we let Kane Wilson go and, I don't know, Georgetown and Ross McCrory are both not available, he can plug that position, and he can also play in centre midfield if absolutely necessary. So this would be someone that would be absolutely brilliant for the squad and would be a really good addition on a free transfer as well. And don't you think it's about time we took someone from the other side of the bridge too? Stoke have once again started their rebuild under Alex Neil, and as a result, Morgan Fox, a 29-year-old Welsh international, was released this summer and is available on a free transfer this season as well. A multitude of Championship clubs have been interested in the Welsh international, and I would not be surprised if we are in for him as well. He's made 40 appearances for Alex Neil last season. Just a really, really solid Championship player. He kind of personifies that essence, really. He's kind of really, really solid player who'll help you, he will not make too many mistakes. He's also incredibly versatile, can play the centre-back, can play left-back, and is also equally comfortable attacking in the left wing-back position as well. He's got good positional awareness, which is needed because he's not got that much pace either. So, would be a really useful player for the Bristol City squad. However, wages could be a stumbling block, probably one of the reasons why Stoke had to let him go. Also, his age, 29, may not completely fit into the Bristol City model. But however, if we were looking for another, utility player who can cover the left-hand side and is left-footed, I would not be surprised if Morgan Fox was on the list. Tom Rogic, the Australian, made 20 appearances for West Brom last season, only 4 starts as well. He didn't really fit into Carlos Corberan's or Steve Bruce's system for the Baggies last season. However, he's made multiple appearances in Europe for Celtic, and he's also won a lot of titles for Celtic up in Scotland. So the quality can't be doubted. However, at 30 years old, he wouldn't really fit the model for Bristol City, and he's also a high earner. He was also a very high earner at Albion, which I suppose is one of the reasons they let him go. And also there's a reason he only signed a 1-year deal, which is because of that high wages. And Albion's a gamble, didn't really work, and they've let him go. I don't expect him to sign for Bristol City in any way whatsoever, and I don't expect him to be a target, but that quality's there. He's kind of a luxury player, which is contrasting to some of the rumours we've heard of Bristol City midfield potentially being linked to the midfielders. Jason Knight, for example, has that engine room about him. He's that high energy player. Rogic is more of a luxury player, wouldn't really fit into our system or the model, but I've just thrown them in there because I quite rate him. So those are my top 5 Championship free agents I would be looking at, but probably not getting. Let me know your 5 in the comment section down below. Hit the like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the Acheampong Talkie channel for more Bristol City content in the future, and I will see you all very soon. Cheers.